As most of you have probably heard by now, we're going to be trying to reopen the church on October 11th, which happens to be next Sunday. I just want to first of all say there is no obligation to come back to live church if you are still worried about COVID-19. We will still be live streaming every single Sunday so you can watch from home. But for those who do want to come back, this video is going to help because we're going to go over some instructions of how to safely reopen and the things that are going to have to change so that we can open. So first thing that's going to be a little different, this is going to be the only entrance that we have available. We're also going to have a check-in station. This check-in station is going to be manned by two of our medical experts here, Teresa Byras and Jordan Doe. They're going to be having a thermometer, in which case they'll check some temperatures. They're going to ask you a couple questions. We just want to make sure that nobody is sick that we're letting in. They're also going to be giving you a squirt of hand sanitizer because that never hurts anything. We are going to be requiring masks. We're not too picky on what kind of mask you want to wear. I prefer these masks that I bring all the way down around my neck and bring up. Ashley prefers these that can go around you. We don't care, but a mask is required. Don't get too creative with your mask, folks. A coffee filter pinched between glasses is not a mask. I have seen that. If you don't have a mask, we have extra masks that you can use. But please, 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 masks are going to be required. Now I can already hear the question, but Connor, if we're only using this entrance and there's a check-in station, what if we bottleneck? We have a solution. We are going to be lining people up in 6-foot markings. We're going to mark them, so all you have to do is look at the ground, and we're just going to have some easy ups around the side of the building, and we're going to actually create a line. Family units can stand together, or if you're a single person, you can stand on the marks, but like I said, we're going to be marking 6-foot distances, and we please ask you to wait in the line patiently so we can get everybody in as soon as possible. Remember that as you walk in, you are going to be required to wear your mask at all points in time. And when I say that, I mean you're going to have to wear your mask correctly at all points in time. This is not correctly. This is not correctly. As effective as it might be, this is not correct. I'm going to be not wearing my mask for the video simply so you can understand me better. But again, I have to reiterate, you have to be wearing a mask at all times. We are not going to be having a disability accommodation of not wearing a mask. Our accommodation is that you can watch the live stream from home. Again, always, always, always be wearing your mask when in the building. You'll start to notice that there's going to be some areas off limits with tape, with black curtain. You can see this red tape. So if there's a black curtain, don't go past it. Such as upstairs. We're not going to allow people upstairs because again, this is going to help us not have to sanitize so much after service. Also, there's not going to be as much furniture around. There's not going to be the tables around. There's not going to be decorations around. This again just helps us not have to sanitize everything after service. This red tape is because the bathrooms are going to be single occupancy during this time. That means only one person allowed in there, and the rest of us are going to have to line up like we have to do at the busy movie theater bathrooms. But again, please stand at the marked areas. They have lines and X's there. They're very easy. And also try to keep this middle area not filled. The women will line up here, men will line up here, so we can create traffic flow through this middle section. Also, do not loiter in this area, in the welcome area. We are going to ask that you go straight to your seats. Again, this is for sanitation purpose. This is to help us not have risk of people getting too close in contact of each other. This may seem strict, but again, this is to help everybody not get sick. You may notice that there's a few extra things missing. During this time, we're not going to have drinks available, so if you'd like a drink, bring it from home. This is a terrible example because it doesn't have a lid, but orange soda sounded really good. We're also not going to be having hymnals or Bibles. So if you have a Bible, please bring it. If you prefer to use your phone and you don't know how to use the Bible app, just come talk to us. We'll show you, we'll explain everything. And the words for the songs will be on screen. Also, pay attention to the announcements in your email because we are not going to be having paper bulletins. Again, I've said this hundreds of times, sanitation. Everything that people touch is a possibility to spread COVID, so we're eliminating as much of that as possible. As you can see around you, we've taped off certain areas of the pews. These are areas that you're not allowed to go in. If there is tape blocking off this area, that means you don't go there. If there is not tape blocking off that area, it means you can go there. I want to inform you guys that right here, right around this area, we're going to have a computer and a camera set up because this is where we're going to live stream from. What that means is that we have to be careful where we walk in front of that. Because trust me, this is not the view we want when we're live streaming. We want to see the front of Pastor. So you got to be careful of that. Also, one of the things that's going to be different, worship. We are going to be having pre-recorded worship at least for the first 2 to 3 weeks of this opening the church process. This is partially because when you sing, you expel more spit, saliva, and that's an easy way to get you sick. Also, because we just need a few weeks to try to figure out the best way to do it, the best way to actually have live worship. So it's going to be pre-recorded like we already have in the live stream for the first few weeks. Last but not least, we are not, after service, just going to all mob up and leave. We are going to be dismissed, row by row. An usher will come up, dismiss you by row, and you can walk out. Please do not loiter after service either in the building. Please go directly outside. That is where we can fellowship because it is much easier to social distance outside than it is in the building. As you've heard me mention in just about every clip, sanitation. We are going to be needing volunteers to help us sanitize everything that we touch every single Sunday because we need to make sure it's clean for the Apostolic Church. We have gloves, and we're going to have every single cleaning product we need. You'll be working under our janitor, Jordan, and I have to say this for legal reasons. No chemical is allowed to get near any of your orifices, which means you do not want to eat this item. You do not want to put it in your eyes or your ears or your nose. Now that that's said, we can get volunteer help. Anyways, if you would like to help with that, again, we need as much help every single Sunday as possible. Sign up at the FCG staff email. And then later on, we'll probably have some in-person signups available. Offering and communion. Offering, we're going to have an offering box out here in the welcome area. That's the only example of loitering that's going to be allowed, is you're going to be allowed to drop your offering in that box. Also, just like we've already been doing, you can drop it off at any point in the week to the office or use our online giving option. Communion. We're going to be having pre-made communion packets that have your cracker and have your juice already filled up at the door waiting for you so that we don't have to try to pass them out individually. So, we have a whole lot of new rules, and I know it's a lot, I know it seems strict, but please, we want to make sure everybody stays healthy. With that, we know it'll probably take a few weeks to fully get the rhythm down of how church is going to work. We understand that. But also, please be patient with the staff. If you find the staff correcting you on something, either not asking you to loiter or to fix your mask, again, we're not trying to be mean, but we need to make sure this is as safe and as healthy as possible. We are going to make sure every single person is safe through this pandemic and still can attend church if they want. So, with that, feel free to ask the staff questions. Please don't get mad at them if they correct you, and let's have fun being able to come back to church.